full of drama like a
no stranger. Well, hello. God bless the community family, and welcome to Gang Talk with Skipp Townsend and Sister Herron. We've been here for quite a while, quite a few years, coming to have this very important conversation with our community family because we learned along the way that it is family business. We're just that small and so closely connected. You never know when it's a loved one or a relative of yours that may be impacted by the subject that brings Skipp and me here to this microphone every week for several years now. So God bless you once again, and thank you for listening. Praying that you do, that it's an issue that matters to you as much as it matters to us. So thank you. And Skipp, thank you for being our co-host.
Thank you, Sister Herron. As always, I give honor and praise to God. I'm just grateful to be alive, grateful to be here, grateful to be the co-host, and grateful that you have lived your commitment to do something, for the people, and you're doing it. So just appreciate that. Appreciate all these things. And appreciate, can I say hi?
Yes, please.
Hi, Felicia.
Hi, Felicia. We love her, and we thank her for the opportunity to have a place to share this message with our community family, because we know how important it is, and she does as well. Otherwise, we wouldn't be broadcasting from her beautiful studio in the heart of the Crenshaw community. So thank you, Felicia. And it is our habit to thank our guests from last week.
Yes. Our guests from last week. We have to thank our guests from last week. I believe Marcus was one of them, right? Am I mistaken?
I was here last week.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And was that Cecil Murray who was
Cecil Murray was sitting here, too.
Yes, indeed. Very powerful man. I can't even think about all the adjectives that describe exactly who this man is. So I'm just grateful that he was here. He's always willing to share. He is he's a pillar of the community.
Yes, he is.
He's a pillar for all of black people, not just from Southern California, but for all of us.
Absolutely, and he's a legend in the Los Angeles community. He's a living legend, bless his heart, and minister, pastor, shepherd of the first African American church in Los Angeles, and that's First AME. Right. And the truth is, it is the first AME ever in this city, and it was built, developed by a former slave by the name of Biddy Mason and her son-in-law. Mm-hmm. And Biddy Mason's story is that she was a slave brought out here from Mississippi by her owners, and they brought her to Utah first, and then from Utah they brought her to California to build a Mormon church out here in the Los Angeles area. Only her slave masters didn't know that California was a free state. Mm. So they brought Biddy out here and her daughters to continue as slaves, only to find out that Biddy met other people of color in Los Angeles that told her, girlfriend, you're living in a free state. It's time to free yourself.
Right.
And they helped her, and in 1855, she secured her freedom. Right. And the beauty about her story is that she not only secured her freedom, she went to work as a midwife and a nurse and whatever she had to do, and she owned a lot of downtown Spring Street.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she had a hotel down there. She had a stable, with a corral, and she often fed men that were in lockup. But yes, there's a statue of her somewhere, if it's still, in one of the buildings down on Spring, I want to say around 4th.
Okay, well, that just made me mad, because obviously they played her out of her land.
Yes.
They done played her and her family out of very valuable real estate.
You mean kind of like what we're going through now?
Right, and they've also hidden their story. I'm so grateful that you have it.
They got a lot of the history in the Central Library down there, too. It's all on the walls, all on the streets. They got poles on the ground with the history of downtown Los Angeles and how the banks and land started.
Okay, so what you're telling me is they didn't hide, they hid it in the books, and I just didn't read it.
They hid it in the library downtown where we don't go anymore.
All right.
It's got to be in a local library, and actually it ought to be taught in our public schools because
Yes,
she
indeed.
is a big part of Los Angeles history and its development, and we don't want to have her ignored for the importance her life was in those years, and being brought out here as a slave and going through whatever she had to do to free herself and her two daughters. So we applaud Biddy for her efforts and her legacy that gave us a Cecil Murray.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so he's also a living legend, and we thank Dr. Murray because I posted a picture of him, a collage of all the times that he's visited us, and the only minister who has and been consistent about it, unafraid to come and talk to us on this level.
Right.
You know, when I think I told the story of the gatekeepers of the church that told a young friend of mine that he couldn't come in the sanctuary because he was too dirty. You know, and those are the kind of things that Dr. Murray that offends him.
Right.
That offends him because it's God's house and all are welcome that seek to learn and help themselves. So we just want our churches to understand God takes you dirty and he's the cleanup man. Okay?
Right.
And we are not the judge to stand in his doorway and say who can come in and who cannot.
Right.
Okay, so those are the things that Dr. Murray attributes to the fact that there are 60% dropout in our churches across the board, across the country, not just in Los Angeles. There's a falling away from the established church. And he's very honest about that. The man said a 60% dropout, so I'm not going to argue with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds like our LAUSD school system, too. We have a 56% dropout rate.
And they blame it on the charter school.
Well, you know, our schools have been failing our kids for a long time, okay? And I'm not going to blame charter schools because they came in
Right.
as a money pit to take money away, making promises that turned out to be empty promises. And so we're not here to talk about the school situation because I haven't seen anybody fix it yet.
Right.
Okay? So let's go ahead and thank you for being a guest last week. So you introduce yourself. And
I'm Marcus Woods, and I am, always appreciative that you call me and tell me to come in because Skipp gonna do something to me. And no, seriously,
He's a comedian.
he's got a right to laugh.
Yeah, seriously, I mean, I'm always appreciative. I get to sit here with Cecil Murray and get a lot of wisdom and, a different insight to what my own ideology is. So I think I'm grateful every day I get to sit right here,
We're grateful that you're in your right mind and willing to come and talk to us. So that's a big deal for us. Who is this young man right
Hey, look,
here?
he looks like you.
Yeah, he really do.
He looks like you.
Just a concerned citizen. Born and raised in South LA.
What's your name, concerned citizen?
Dale, aka concerned citizen, coming in and share whatever thoughts and feedback I can provide.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I'm just going to state for the record, these are my three sons.
Right.
Two of them I adopted and one of them I gave birth to, and I'll let you figure out which one that is. But I'm just so happy because, May is Mother's Month, and historically, as long as we've been on the radio, we've had our heartbroken mothers come and talk to us in this month, and I just accepted this year of how difficult that is for them. Very difficult. Mother's Day is a day that they don't want to remember the pain that they feel in that child being stolen away from their lives. So we decided to take a different approach. So we had Cecil Murray and Marcus on last week, but that was in the follow-up of the aftermath to April 29, 1992, and we had that civil revolt. And so Dr. Murray was, as I said, the day that verdict came in, April 29th, I saw him in the little black and white TV with tears coming down his face. Just tears just streaming down that noble man's face, and it broke my heart that day, and I remember it very vividly. And Dr. Murray was with Tom Bradley. As a matter of fact, Skipp, you were in his church. They were trying to keep calm, and Dr. Murray, the emotions, expressed the emotions that we felt. Tom Bradley's words expressed the anger that we felt. So between these two living legends, our community just exploded because it was on its way to exploding. And we're not apologizing for any of it. It was something that was going to happen because, actually, truthfully, historically, it was the second civil revolt caused by the Los Angeles Police Department.
Well, the first one, it was caused by the Los Angeles Police Department, but the actual spark was the Highway Patrol. You know, they had pulled someone over,
Yes.
I forgot the name, the Marquette.
Right.
Yeah, so but it was because of what LAPD and LA County
chokehold.
Sheriff has been doing for so long.
Yes.
So you're absolutely right.
In 65, it was about the chokehold.
Right.
They were killing black men just in a snap of the finger using a chokehold. And so in those years, it became our practice, because we didn't have cell phones, to stand on the corner at any stop and just become a witness. So that's what happened the night the Highway Patrol stopped that young man, the witnesses. And even his mother came out to try to assist him, and the police were confrontational, hostile with her, which
Took her to jail.
took her son to jail, and the community exploded. So that's what happened in 92, that we were expecting a just verdict because we actually had the videotape, and that Simi Valley court told us, no, you didn't see what you saw. We're going to stop it and show you how guilty Rodney was. And we were in fear for our lives, just protecting ourselves as we beat him. So that's what contributed to the explosion. And anyway, that was 25 years ago, and we're here to talk about progress tonight.
Progress?
Well, that's a good place to start. How old were you?
92, I was 12.
12.
Yeah.
And going to
I was in middle school.
middle school.
Yeah,
Okay.
7th grade.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny the things that you say, because it hasn't really changed a whole lot, has it? I
Well, that's really what we want to talk about. And I really wanted the men to come and give their assessment of it. Marcus, where were you in 92?
I was in camp. I was in juvenile camp and watching it on TV. They made sure we watched it. They took Tecmo Bowl for us to watch it, and that's why I remember it so much. But I didn't really grasp it back then. I didn't understand. I just seen a lot of people going in the stores stealing stuff. That's it. The news showing bottles broken, and all these people are just taking all these things from the stores. They're burning things down. They made it look as if we're actually having fun. So
Well, I mean, it was a free-for-all, Marcus.
Yeah.
I mean, truth be told, imagine you going into class and they're not only being not a substitute teacher there, but
No teacher.
no teacher there.
teacher at all.
Right.
And everybody's wilding out, and the person who's supposed to be watching you just kind of like,
nonchalantly,
nonchalantly just shrugging their shoulders. So that's what the cops are essentially doing in South LA. People were allowed to exact their vengeance on whatever they could get their hands on, and they were allowed to do it. And in a lot of ways, they were encouraged to do it by the promoting of it and doing things like cutting off people's cable, cutting off their power.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if your cable's off, if your power is off, naturally you're just going to walk outside and, see what's going on. So, I mean.
We had a friend that worked at the cable company, and he actually hooked our TV up with the AB switch. And he came back and told us that they were notified to turn the cable off. They were instructed, turn the cable off before we come over there and do it ourselves.
Because the frequency was all off. Anybody could have stole that frequency at that
No,
time.
it wasn't about that. It was about sharing what was going on. They didn't want the public to see what was actually going on in the community, and they thought that was a way to put us in a blackout. But we had, thanks to that cable man, we had a AB switch, so we switched over to TV and watched the news just like everybody else in the Valley and Hollywood. But in our neighborhood, they cut the cable off, they cut the power off, those kind of things too. Oh, man. And do you remember the National Guard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A day late and a dollar short, but you know it is what it is.
Yeah. But they were at the outskirts of our little street, sitting on guard, checking IDs to see who can come in the neighborhood. It's like, wow. And, of course, we had no stores, so we had to go to somebody else's neighborhood to shop, but come back home and see if you can get back to your house. That was a trick. You know, and that was by day 3.
Yes, ma'am, it was day 3, and I know a couple of people have been stopped by the National Guard. As a matter of fact, Kenny, one of my close friends, you know him, Kenny Smith, for whatever reason, he had a trunk full of his children's mother. She does hair, so he had her products in the back of the car, and something happened. He needed to get to her. He takes Stocker. She's in Inglewood. He's coming up Stocker, and they at the top like this. They got heavy artillery on him and said freeze, and of course he did. So they go through the car, go through the trunk. This is day 3. This is after the looting, the rioting, and all that. They see all the hair care products, and they take him to jail, and he got a case for it.
Wow.
You know, so, I mean, you know, and at the time, we laughed and said, man, you got away with all that other stuff, man. We stole all them tires. We did all this stuff we didn't stole, and you got caught on some stuff you didn't steal.
Right.
You know, but then I look at him, too, like, why did you leave the house?
Yeah.
There is no one who's going to make me come outside. At that time, I actually lived in Bellflower. So I would come, you know, even a dog don't shit and eat in the same place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm out the way. I'm not going to be in that Stocker, Crenshaw, Western, Adams,
But
Vernon.
you started out over at First AME on Adams and Western.
Yes.
When did you leave and go to Bellflower?
No, well, I didn't go home for like 2 days.
Yeah,
And
well,
when I
see?
did go home,
Okay,
it was
day 3.
Yeah, but I went home because we had a whole lot of stuff to put in the garage. You know, but what I'm saying is when we knew that the National Guard was coming, then at that point, man, shut down. You know, it's like we going to war.
Yeah. Oh.
So I don't want to go to war. I don't want to be throwing rocks at somebody who got an AR-15.
We actually had a business on King and Normandy at that time, and we came around Saturday, and folks were still angry. They were riding down the street, shaking fists and hollering out the cars and stuff. Wasn't a whole lot of looting going on Saturday, just a lot of anger and rage, and we sat out and watched that, and knew that whose place the community hated, who got attacked first, who the community respected that they left alone. You know, so there were a few businesses like that in the neighborhood that got that reaction. The ones that had the bad reputation, they were the first to get it. The ones that had a good reputation, the neighborhood came together and stood by and protected their businesses. So it was a horrific time. I'm not going to lie about that. Tensions were at an all-time high. Nobody in our community respected Daryl Gates at all. And we hold him responsible for the conduct of his officers.
Has anything changed in 25 years to prevent that from happening again?
No,
Has anything significantly changed?
It's still happening, or it seems to be worse with people. You know, you see more people getting shot and killed by the police.
Well,
it's
there's
no longer strangulation no more.
There is a number of things that have happened over the last 25 years, and number one is, and trust me, it's symbolism, not substance. But LAPD has actually done outreach to the community. There are different forms where we interact now. Southern California Ceasefire being one of them, but the GRID program underneath the leadership of the mayor's office, and there's the LAPD training has individuals like myself, Taco, Twin, that we often go there and interact with them. So there's more relationships now. What does that mean? Is we validate them. So when the police say, when people say, Dale, you say to them, like, you guys aren't doing anything. You're not in the community. And they say, well, hey, we're at ceasefire. And you know ceasefire. You're like, okay, well, Skipp and Taco, my mom, whoever, you know. You're thinking, okay, but what about this and that? And they say, oh, we're in the school CSP program. We're in the Jordan Downs. We're in the Nickerson Gardens. And they're about to start in Council District 8. I don't know the area by Harvard Park. The CSP is a community safety police. And so they're having meetings there now about being in that area too. So they get to validate that they're here.
Yeah.
What does it actually mean? It means more funding for police. It does not mean better relationships.
Yes.
It does not mean a different tactic or procedure or less homicides by law enforcement. It means, though, that we're here and we're with you, and we're going to get more money to have more police officers in your community, and instead they're going to be in soft clothes, not in their uniforms, but what they're going to do is they're going to help little Timmy get a haircut and put him in a football team, and they got the Watts Bears and stuff like that, where now law enforcement can say that they are the ones who brought the resources and brought the calm to the community, and now we can say how great the police are and we need more police, when actually there's no substance to that. That does not empower the community. Actually, what it does is continue to divide the community. And but it is a change, though. I have to acknowledge that.
Out of sight, out of mind. If they don't come to ceasefire, I don't see them.
Hey,
all right.
It's funny because there are a ton of programs sponsored by the government who will say, oh, you know, just create some type of program that says you have accountability and you're pushing towards this direction, and we'll just, you know, send you the money. And I hear programs like this all the time. You know, oh, we set this program, we're going to set up meetings, we're going to talk and all this other stuff. But when it comes down to it, it still doesn't stop the helicopters from flying over your home. Yeah. It still doesn't stop all of the... I don't want to say perceived harassment, but we already know South LA is policed way more than West LA. Right. We already know that South LA has all of this heavy helicopter traffic. Yeah. Heavy, where I never see it in other parts of LA, city of LA.
Well, that was the conversation. Men are the threat.
Right. Listen, that's the conversation I had with Gil. That's why I said I had to sit between, because Gil said, let me tell you what he said. Oh, but we don't have, because he lives obviously in Playa del Rey or the Marina. He says, well, we don't have all the murderers and killers and drug dealers that you guys have in that area. So their perception of us is not that this young man is intelligent and went to school, or this young man was wrongfully convicted. They feel like he did it. Right. So the perception they have of us from these communities is, well, who would live in this cesspool? Who would live in this self-cleaning oven? Just let them kill themselves, and then bring in gentrification and let the good guys come back in. That's the perception.
Well, like I said, so once again, it's kind of fueled by propaganda. I mean, nothing has changed about the black male image since 1992. No. I mean, you still vilify the victim. Go back to 65. You know, you still give the victim this mugshot, right? Where you show the person who started the attack, who usually is a Caucasian male. They'll give him the grad picture or the academy photo or something of honor, distinguished, even though he's the one who's the attacker, even though he's the one who murdered somebody. You know, this propaganda is still perpetuating across America that, you know, black people are the bottom and black men are the bottom of the black people. That hasn't gone away. So I asked the question, what has changed in 25 years?
That's a valid question.
To prevent that. How am I supposed to feel better as a black man in 2017 than 1992? I mean, I was 12 then. I'm 37 now. And now I start to see where all the anger comes from. Excuse me. But you start to see where all the frustration comes from. You start to see all the bigotry.
Well, you look at the high unemployment in our community.
Has that changed?
You look at the failing schools that didn't give our young people a pass to be competitive. So we've been kind of boxed in by circumstances and boxed out by design. You know, and so I really trying to get the essence of how our men feel about their circumstances in 2017. Has you seeing anything on our side changing? I don't expect them to change. Well, I haven't seen it in my lifetime. Like you said, they do these accommodations that make them look good, but we're still here We're still in the struggle. My son's still trying to find a job. You know what I mean? Trying to find his way back and build a future that he should have had 17 years ago instead of going into lockup. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the renewing from us, for us, about us, irregardless as to what that guy in the White House is doing.
Who, Trixon?
Yeah, what's
Donald Duck.
No, he's worse than Nixon. He's
Oh,
a
my God.
Trixon.
Okay.
He is the worst.
I don't even watch the news.
He is
you know?
dumber than George W. Bush, more crafty than Richard Nixon. He is
He's
one
not
of a
as slick as
kind.
Dick Cheney, though.
No.
No.
Dick Cheney
Dick
shot his
Cheney's
best
sick.
friend and
Yeah,
got
he
off
did.
with it.
And kept his
It was
job.
an accident. I shot him by accident.
Shot him in the face,
butt.
a big orange quail.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Because you know when you're out there in the quail hunting, you have to wear a bright orange jacket.
Yes, indeed. So imagine this. So there is someone who is going to investigate your wrongful interactions with Russia. And you say, well, I think I'll just fire him.
Yeah,
That
power.
That is power. That's power. Yeah. All right, enough of him.
yeah.
He's
'cause
funny.
We don't want to talk. Well, see, the point is, you say this all the time. That system is not for us.
Right.
So what are we thinking about doing for ourselves that protects us from that system that misuses our
I
men?
think the first thing we need to start doing is stop trying to keep up with the system. That's my opinion of it, because you got a lot of people that say, I think it's supposed to go like this because the law says it. But you're the only one following the law.
Let's talk about the baller and the $500 tennis shoes.
The baller and the $500 tennis shoes that really don't care about the people around him. That's the only thing that matters.
It's several ways you can look at this. I mean, you can look at it as over-exaggeration of price.
Right.
Or you can look at it as a black man trying to make an entrepreneurial push in an over-dominated shoe corporation.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny how you can look at it. As a poor black man,
Right.
I could be offended, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I stand back and say, well, his strategy is to only appeal to people who could afford it to begin with, right?
Like Russell Simmons in the $400 jeans.
Right, you know, people who want to push this whole overpriced ripped T-shirt, Kanye brand type stuff. If they're willing to buy it, then it's actually a smart business move. How can I, as another black man, say, "Oh, that's not a good move," or look down on him when it's actually kind of smart?
When you
know?
think of it, at the end of the day, if you really think about business, they're not marketing to us.
No,
we're the
no.
we're the ones
marketing
buying the
Right.
prices, but they're marketing to big business for
People
they
that
can
can
sell
afford
bulk
them.
in their
Yeah.
stores. I want you to buy 10,000 units.
Right.
But this is going to be at that price. They're not going to lower it for us.
So what'll happen is he'll get a deal, a distribution deal to sell it somewhere, whether sell it in other countries or other places as well as just here in the United States. So,
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Saudi Arabia.
And they not too
Not
much
burning
gonna
in
buy.
Central.
No,
Not burning
what's
in
going?
King.
Third world countries are going to be killing each other to buy the shoe if it becomes popular. You're talking about like Jamaica and Brazil and
But
other
Jamaica's
countries.
a poor country. Brazil,
Right. So that's what I say. But with a lot of drug cartels, whatever's popular, whatever the fad is, that's who's going to
They
purchase
market
it
it
and
to
buy
other
it.
countries.
Right.
It's not just to us. They marketing everything.
So I would like to see him succeed. I would like for him and his children to succeed.
I want him and his children to be successful. That's
Right.
not the point I'm talking about. It's the choking price of his gear. $500. You shake that $500 in the face of my children that love and admire him. It's like the Air Jordans. How many kids died when those shoes first came out? Because mom couldn't afford them and the kids wanted them, so they took them off some dead child's body.
Right.
And the jacket, my God. You see, and that was the beginning of buying us.
What are you talking about? The
Buying
bomber
us.
jacket? The one
Right,
with the
probably
fur on
starter
it?
jacket. Yeah.
Oh, the
Whatever
starter jacket thing?
Jordans athletic jacket was at the time, the Red Bull, and and his shoes. And I know a lot of young people died for those things, and it was an alarm then. But that was before the drugs took hold. It was the I want Michael Jordan stuff, and parents that gave their kids that spent a lot of money because they wanted to make their child happy. An unhappy child whose parents couldn't afford that stuff ended up killing that child to take it from him. That's the kind of negativity and competition that was set up in our young people. If you don't have Guess jeans, if you don't have Jordans, you ain't nothing.
I don't think that level of jacking and robbery is prevalent in today's
It's not
generation.
now. Yeah.
I remember a day when it was a popular thing, and that was a real threat.
Yeah,
I don't think it's really a big thing right now. It's almost like a gimmick. These $500 suits is almost like a gimmick. It's not popular enough to cause robberies, but it does raise an eyebrow. Maybe some people might get it just to say they spent the $500 on it, but it's still not as large of a brand as the other shoes.
Them red bottoms. Them girls be going to get them.
Prada. Is it Prada?
No,
Louis?
Felicia, you got them red bottoms. What are they called? Say it again.
It could be the Louis Vuittons.
What are they called?
The Louis?
Yeah,
Louis Vuitton?
No, not Louis Vuitton.
No, it's not Louis Vuitton.
You're
They
talking
call
about the red sole shoes.
the red bottoms. They called.
Shoes. I don't know.
They have a name similar to that, but
like
okay,
Prada or something like
it's
that.
not Prada.
I know it's
no,
not.
it's not
but
Jimmy Choo, but they say, huh?
Louis Vuitton.
Not Louis Vuitton. It's Louis. Louboutin. Louboutin, right. So the cheapest pair is like $1,200.
Yes.
And they're $1,800, $2,500
Yes.
for a pair of shoes.
Yes.
And trust me, these girls are buying them. I used to work at the clubs, and they drunk as a dog, but they got on them red bottoms.
I haven't seen a lot of black women in the red bottom shoes.
Oh yeah, I worked at the clubs in Hollywood. All
But
of
you
them.
said in Hollywood, because we ain't got no clubs down here. Okay?
No, but them is the girls from Grape Street and the Jordan Downs and all them be at the clubs.
Listen, my mom is at the club every week, so she says she don't see any late.
Right, I gotta take her word for it.
I need to know what club that is I've been at, because I can go back tonight. But and celebrate the weekend, because this is Mother's Day weekend, and we're not trying to badmouth our women with the red sole shoes. If you can buy those shoes, more power to you.
I say no. Don't buy them. Let's invest in each other.
Yeah, I agree.
There was something that Dale had said. I don't know if it was off the air or not, but he talked about a sandwich that he bought that cost $15.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what's important about that. If this is a black owner of the business, then I would say let's go get 5-6 friends, and this Saturday let's go to that business and let's support that business. That sandwich is overpriced, but let us help that person get the business started so that we can be supporting our own people.
Right.
And the prices might even go lower.
So we can get the prices lower. But let me not buy my girl a $2,000 pair of shoes and then go buy myself these $500 pair of ball shoes.
And
you know what I mean?
That's the problem I'm having with the $2,000 heels, $500 tennis shoes. You're going to wear them $500 tennis shoes the rest of your life. It's like D.L. Hughley tells a story when he was a child, and he wanted cowboy boots, and his mama told him, you need tennis shoes. And D.L., no, Mom, I want them cowboy boots. And so the sad reality was that was the only pair of shoes he was going to get that summer. So everybody's out there, tennis shoes and shorts and tank tops.
Playing basketball, tennis shoes, the cowboy boots.
Tennis shoes, tank tops, and cowboy boots. See, and so that's the reality. And when our kids... I'm glad I'm not a parent of a child in 2017. It is so expensive with the toys, the technology, and the gear, and the labels, and because I'm never going to own a Gucci bag. Never. I'm not putting a dime in Gucci's pocket with that ugly purse. Okay? I don't care. And why would I be a walking ad to help them make more money? That's the part I don't get. What's Gucci doing for my community that I want? Break is break. Do we want to break?
I don't know. You want to break?
I'm having fun.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
That's up there.
right.
Okay.
Do we get like sandwiches and stuff on the break?
Yeah, we talking about food.
Was that chicken wings on the break?
Well, we was going to talk about the food truck. Let's talk about the food truck when we come back.
All right. We'll go to break then. What's Stevie say?
Yeah, we have.
Like, why we had this whole black girl magic push, but we didn't have a corresponding black male magic push or something like that? Like, you remember summer 17, summer 16?
That's good. Keep going.
No, I'm just saying though. You remember all summer 16? They had this whole black girl magic thing, and you know the black gymnasts. And there was black girl magic and Olympics and black girl magic, and it rolled right into fall, and it's all this black girl excellence, and I'm cool. I'm cool with that. That's cool. But where's the black counterpart? Where's the black male counterpart? I mean,
That's the question we're here to answer.
It almost doesn't
because
exist.
they tried to eliminate you.
What do you mean try? As if it's a past
stopped,
tense.
right,
It's a continuous thing.
Yeah,
it's never
that's true.
stopped.
Yeah.
The thing that amazes me is this continual propaganda of black men being the villain.
Yeah.
The villain.
Yes.
Bottom line, the villain.
Yes.
Or you know, the funny thing is, if you see them in TV, if they're honorable, they're the sacrifice.
Right.
That's something that we also miss. You either die being a villain or you die being the good guy. But bottom line, we want you to die. You know, and it's commonly reoccurring.
Wow.
It's commonly reoccurring. Dude. Like how many black leads, successful black leads, okay, do you see with a multitude of ladies on TV, or even a strong black woman? Can you readily? You can say Scandal, right? But that's a white guy and a black girl, right?
Yeah, there is Scandal.
You can say all these ABC shows, and it's always a strong black woman with a different guy. It's not a black guy; it's a different.
So
guy.
let me go into this movie, Get Out.
Oh,
Get Out. Okay, so now we got the truth coming out. Now we got people telling the truth that there are people who would like to have our bodies, to have our strength, but they want to have their mind. They want to give us their mind, but have our bodies. So
is that where the adopt a black kid comes in at? This phenomenon, in Hollywood.
That's it, right? Raised by,
but it's not just a phenomenon. You got to remember they started with Haitian kids back when they had all them earthquakes and tsunamis.
Oh yeah.
They went over there and it was a big scandal. They stole a lot of. It was rumors that they stole a lot of kids before they was able to figure out how many kids was missing. Right. So they was leaving that country with kids as if it was their own adoption.
Right.
And they was coming back.
So when I watch movies like Get Out, how many of these kids that are stuck like this?
Oh man,
I'm happy. Right. You know what I mean? I don't know what they done did to them kids.
You ain't kidding. And I don't like to drop names, but the things that I've been seeing have me concerned about that as well. You know, we can't even foster or adopt our own children, and others are coming in believing that they can do a better job. And I don't want to damn all of them because some of them are good, but the horror stories are bad. And when you have a horror story, that's the only thing you remember.
Yeah. I want to go back to what he was saying. Like a good example of what he was saying to me is if you really think about a lot of the black celebrities today that they put in the media that did something criminal, it's always rape. And that's the first thing they say about black people because we are the first ones to pull back from that. If Skipp was to get that case, then everybody will pull back. Well, I ain't messing with
definitely.
Skipp.
I got
that's
two
what I'm
words
saying.
for
So
you.
when you do Bill Cosby and Derrick Rose, all these dudes had the same case, the same kind of case.
What you talking about? The case that Michael Jackson had and that Mike Tyson went and did 6 years for. Same case that they gave Kobe Bryant and Tupac. Right. Yep. So that's the one place where they can get black people.
That's the one place where they can get
case.
you to divide and conquer the quick.
I got two words for you.
Didn't Ben Roethlisberger Didn't he was accused
Right.
of rape, but he's still a star NFL player, right?
They didn't even,
Well,
they
you know,
didn't even
well, no, he
the
made a
team.
mistake.
Yeah.
That's the difference. He made a mistake.
Right.
No, those are criminals we're talking about.
You got
no,
Michael Vick.
Ben made a mistake.
You got
Michael Vick. No, that was
He fought
horrible
the
what he
dog.
did to those dogs, man. He deserved to go to prison for, he should have done longer the way he treated those dogs.
They actually have rooster fights in amongst
Right.
countries.
Yep.
So that's like a big fact. But you can take a man within your own country to jail for not even his dogs fighting. It was somebody else's
and a
dog.
lot of times he wasn't even there.
Exactly.
Because his friends were there. Like, say if I make it big and my friends have access to the house and we fight the dogs a couple times, but I got to go back to practice,
Right.
and they still fighting dogs, and you want to blame me because they still there? Because, granted, I should have said no, but still to take my career, that is how, one thing they will do, this is what white people do, I don't care how big you are, they will find a way to let you know use another nigga.
They will King Kong you.
They let you know.
They will King Kong you.
Yes, indeed.
Okay? And a lot of people don't understand the significance in the message of that movie. Really. You have
gotta
to think about it.
understand to overcome it.
I told my son, because I researched it, because I have very specific opinions about the message in that movie and how it resonates today. How they use that image still today.
Right.
The big black jungle beast coming after the blonde haired white woman.
She screams.
With all of his big black aggression.
And truthfully, I told my son, because I researched it, I wanted to know if there was any correlation, really valid correlation. And the original writer was I don't even have the right words to describe his lifestyle, but he was traveling around the world. He had that kind of privilege. And over in Africa, investigating the dark continent, and heard rumors that guerrillas stole women and raped them.
Wow.
Yes. That guerrillas stole women and raped them.
Sounds like more propaganda.
Okay, well, then he comes back and writes this story about this big, huge gorilla and the blonde.
Oh, I wonder if they talk
Okay.
about the lady who lived out in
King
the mountains. No, it was a lady that
You're
lived in
talking
a
about
mountain
the
and raised
environmentalist that studied the gorillas.
Jane Austen.
She raised all
Jane
the gorillas.
Udall, Goodall,
Right,
something
Goodall,
like
thank
that.
you.
Yeah, she lived with the gorillas. But no, this was fantasy that came to life in the movie in 1931, 33, something
Kong?
like that. Yes, the original.
Wow.
It was made in the 30s.
And once again, remember what Dale just said, that gorilla in that movie, everybody loved him at the end, but he had to die.
He had to die.
Right.
Okay, and
even though he saved the white woman, right, he had to die.
Hey, listen, pay attention. It don't matter if it's a scary movie. It don't matter if it's an action movie, okay? It don't matter if it's a drama, right? If there is a black person around a white lead, right? And there's something that has to be sacrificed, better believe
It's that black
they're going to
person.
sacrifice that black person.
that's why I watch the sci-fi movies.
And the black person's supposed to honorably give themselves up. Oh, I will volunteer to give my life up so you can push on. Yeah. Despite the fact that
we're the sacrifice.
Despite the fact that we're only 12% of the population, consistently, we haven't grown. If you don't know, we haven't grown in America, and that's not by coincidence. That's by design. So we're supposed to willingly be the ones to sacrifice.
Well, see, that's old days, and what's changing? Our music is changing. We've got the money behind us, where Jay-Z did that documentary, 5-part documentary on Khalif Browder from New York. You see, those are the things that are changing. We have the film Get Out. We had Birth of a Nation, and you see how the power structure tried to destroy Birth of a Nation with, what'd you say?
Another rape charge.
Rape. A rape that he was acquitted.
Not even a rape charge, just an accusation. We can just throw it out there and just let you figure it out.
But he actually dispelled it himself, so all the rumors should be over.
They went
He
to
talked
trial
about
for
himself.
that, and they were acquitted. All right.
Well,
They
but
were
I mean, that
quit.
goes to show you what society really says about black people. That if you are arrested for it, if you are charged with it, if you are accused of it, then that is a
guilty.
conviction.
Yeah.
That is a conviction for
You're
black people.
guilty
There's
until
this,
you prove innocence.
Yeah, but remember, Ben made a mistake though. Right.
But there's I forgot her name, but there's this white old white lady. She's a doctor. She does racism seminars to white people.
Oh,
yeah, right.
Would she walk in a room and say,
Yeah, and
what would you do?
She starts segregating white people to just let so they can understand what racism is, right? And it's one question that she hit them with, right, and that still sticks out in my mind. They pretend like they don't know what racism is. I don't know what racism is, right? Right. But they say, would you switch your position right now with the black person? Right. And somebody stand up and say it. And the whole room would just, like they didn't understand the question. So she repeat the question. If you don't believe what racism is, would you switch your position with a black person? Nobody would stand up. So you know what it is.
You know what it is.
You in some way kind of accept its position.
Right.
And may even contribute to it by your own position and your non-acknowledging of it.
No, they don't have to. See, because nobody puts them on Front Street the way they do you.
But that's just it, though.
When you go in that market and they follow you around and they assume that you're in there to steal.
We can put them on Front Street, though. We can have videos. We can show the beatings. Yeah. But the thing is, it's like we so much propaganda has killed the black male image that it's hard to even validate the things that we're saying. You can have 10 black men saying one thing and it's still met with skepticism and doubt, as if we're lying off top of our heads, as if it's inherent that black people lie. And that's bullshit. And it's constantly perpetuated through our society.
That's
you want to know what it is?
You've been designated as it.
Do you want to know what it is to be a black man in L.A. right now? You wake up with a constant fear every day. You wake up with constant fear that you're not going to make it. You wake up with constant fear that you might get killed. You wake up with a constant fear that how are your kids going to make it?
Yeah.
Every day? Every day.
Hold on, let me press pause. That's what I was saying in our relationship with LAPD. This is a domestic violence relationship.
Yes, it is.
Where I wake up in fear of my life, fear of my children, total fear, not post-traumatic stress disorder, but present.
Right.
So this is exactly what I was talking about with the system. So Dale is talking about the system that we live in. I was just talking about the system of LAPD. We are in a violent relationship where I'm in fear, so that cannot be healthy. So each and every day when I wake up, I'm waking up unhealthy because I'm waking up in fear.
It's unhealthy because that same domestic violence situation, I can't get a restraining order from that.
No.
I got to keep moving and hope that it don't happen
to me. I hope it doesn't happen to you.
I can't say, hey, the court said that if you come within 100 feet of me that you can't shoot me no more. They're going to shoot me from 100 feet.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, Marcus, because it's like the state of a black male is so violent at certain times. It's so tumultuous. It's so crazy that when people get an opportunity to get out of it, like when you get rich and you get that opportunity to get out of it, it's no strange thing to where you don't look black, because it's so hard of a situation to come from that when you're actually able to leave it, you out. Right. And people say, why don't you come back to the hood? Why don't you get back? It's kind of like, hey, I was able to get out. I'm out.
Right.
And you got a lot of people who start even defending the system because the system is what actually got just them out.
Right.
Yeah.
They know their whole community may still be in it, but hey, I got out. I'm able. My family's cool. Let me just look forward. And that's the situation that we're in today. In a lot of angles.
People turn a blind eye until it happens to them.
Right.
Right.
Well, you know what? I believe that it's changing, because we've lost too much. And the one thing that this generation does know and recognize, everybody gets a chance to have an angst against you.
A what?
An angst.
A problem.
A problem. Yeah, let me just use these words.
Come on, you took me back.
Anxiety.
You took me down south.
Angst is short for anxiety.
Oh, okay.
That's just they got an issue
with
you.
Yeah,
I don't trust you. You're not safe. You're dangerous. You could hurt me. Right. And that goes across the board. Every other ethnicity gets to treat you that way. And that's the biggest offense to me as a mother of children. It's like, how dare you disrespect my child just because their skin is brown? Are you serious? And that makes me an angry black woman.
Because everyone, even black people older than me, wanted to emulate white people. The idea has always been that this is our model, this is what we assimilate to, and this is how we should be. So when we talk about Koreans, when we talk about upper class Hispanics, and we're talking about other cultures, they want to aspire to that. And the one thing that they have in common is, well, we know how to treat them.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the amazing thing. They take sides with each other against us, and we don't even see that our lack of unity is what gives them the power to harm us.
So even think about what Dale said. So when that person becomes, the person of color becomes wealthy or successful, what do? Where is Mr. Ball and his children? Do you know where they play ball at? That's Chino Hills. Where does Snoop Dogg's son play for? He played for Chino Hills.
Yeah.
You know, so when, let me get $1 million, $2 million, you know where I'm going to go? To Chino Hills. I'm not going to let my kids grow up on 20th and, I'm not going to let my kids grow up on 20th and Arlington.
Game said it. When they did that summit last year, him and Snoop didn't show, but they put that together with Minister Tony and had crews from all around the city come. And Game said, quite honestly, yeah, I'm straight out of Compton. I was born and raised in Compton, but we live in Calabasas now.
Right.
My kids go to school
so
in
does
Calabasas.
Brandy and Ray J.
Right.
So does Dr. Dre and so many other people. It was in the song too. Holler in Compton, but you move to Riverside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So so you're not a part of the struggle that we have.
No.
Your children got a better way of life now, so that is another way of saying I don't want to be a part of your struggle.
Right.
So say the four of us right here are hungry and we can't eat and we struggling to make one sandwich last for all of us, and all of a sudden my money come through. I'm gone. You know what I mean? I'm going to Chino Hills, and now now you guys might think it's better. Okay, we got one less mouth on this one sandwich we got, but it's hurting the community when that happens.
Yes.
Because now I'm taking my money and I'm spending it with people who never did like me, who still don't like me,
that you're trying to get to like you.
Right.
That's what they're doing. They're moving up there because they want to fit in. Most people that, in my opinion, most people that move, and go out when they get money like that, way up in them hills like that to hide, and that's exactly what it is. They hiding. They hiding from their
Can't hide from themselves.
Exactly.
Sugar Free said that.
You
say no matter where you go, there you are.
You hiding from your own because you don't want to give back to what was given to you. And when you go up there in them hills and you get to, you make them white folks think that the people that's down there still are people that you don't deal with, so we can do whatever because we gave you some money.
Those folks in Calabasas ain't looking at that Game with the stink eye. Come on.
They don't really care because he got money. They don't care about stink eye.
He's got money, but they're not trying to bring him a food basket and a welcome to the neighborhood kind of party.
They're not going to do that at all. I think we don't. I don't even think we do that no more. But don't nobody do that, man. That's just something they still show on TV. Nobody bring. I know never have, when I moved or my mama done moved us somewhere, has anybody brought a cake.
Oh, let me tell you what they bring. They bring pistols. I was this weekend. My family called, and I'm trying to get the Bubbles had something at the park, so I'm collecting money, and I see my kid's grandmother take off, and next thing I know, we on 120th Street, and everybody out there black, and they fighting. And everybody got kids and they fighting, and this side like to fight, this side like to shoot, and I'm in the middle of the street like, wait, hold on, don't shoot nothing, and don't stop fighting. And this is welcome to the neighborhood because they argued over a parking spot. I've been living here 4 years, you've been living here 2 months, and you keep parking in this spot, and it led to where everybody could have died that day.
That come from contentment.
This is
a small thing.
This is
like
how black people welcome black people, and then it's the women without the children's fathers in the home, and they walking past each other like, and eventually it exploded to where they started fighting.
Competition.
I got a theory.
What's your theory, brother?
I mean, if you all got alpha males, who's gonna be the king?
If you don't have no kings, then what's gonna happen?
You still gonna fight for the top.
Right.
I mean, think about it like this: if the black male is the national villain, right? If everybody hates a black male, if everybody expects a black male to do something dirty, what are black males supposed to think about black males?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, listen. So a lot of the knives that I found in my back came from people that I know. People who supposed to care and love me and care for me are the ones, so that's why sometimes I believe I got to lead from the back. I can't lead from the front because everybody behind me is mad. Like, we'll make him the leader. Why he in the front?
Yeah, right.
So sometimes, and I learned this in jail. I don't know if you got this too, Marcus, but, the MAC rep and the person who represents the black car. That's yours.
That ain't mine.
Okay, so, well, it definitely is not mine. I don't have ringtones like that.
Nope.
That's in.
That's you.
Oh, I found it. I know who it is.
Hey, I don't care. Hey, look, folks don't be no better than to call me between 6 and 7 on
Okay, but let me just share real quick though that even in that environment when it's about to be a riot, what'll happen is the Latinos will identify the MAC rep. This is the guy who's the leader. He's the one going to get stabbed first.
Right.
All the attention is going to him. If anything goes wrong, the system, whether it's the deputies in jail or the COs in prison, are going to identify. So you're the one going to the hole when things go wrong. So I've learned that.
Scapegoat.
Right. So I've learned, and when I was in jail, it was a guy named, we called him Lightbulb. So we all sat here and we said, hey, Lightbulb, you the man, homie. You the one. So this is what we go. So I had to let him know, like, hey, man, you older than me. And they was like, no, Skipp, you the MAC rep. I'm like, no, look, out of respect, man, Lightbulb is older. There are more Crips than Bloods in here. Lightbulb, you the man. Sit here, and we going to sit here, and we going to help you do this. And, of course, what happened about a week or two later when we got into it, Lightbulb gone to the hole. You know what I mean? I hate to do that, but we got to find that king who is willing to poke his chest out and what do you call it, the bird with all the feathers?
Peacock.
We got to let him peacock. Let him go peacock with his chest out and buff dude, and you the man, homie. While somebody like me and Dale sit here and feed him what we need him to know.
Man, I had people do that.
So you the leader, Marcus.
I don't want to be the MAC rep. I do never want to be the MAC rep. I just signed up, don't vote me in, nothing. I ain't going out.
Man.
And we going to tell you, man, what's
I ain't going out. It's lockdown. We ain't supposed to be out the cage.
Well, we got 2.5 minutes left, so you got time for a final thought?
Use your strength to just keep on. I mean, you're stronger than what's out there. Our situation is making us stronger, and that's it.
I piggyback off that, man. And you can't allow your struggles to hurt you, man. You gotta keep pushing with everything you got. You fall down 9 times, get up that 10th time, and push a different way or push the same way but stronger.
Yeah, keep swinging.
Yeah.
Keep swinging.
And I say we got to educate our children. We got to be the ones to educate our children. We cannot send our kids to school to get education and miss important information that you shared with us earlier. There are so many people in our history that have done so many positive and helpful things to our communities, and they hide it. So for us, we have to teach our own children. Definitely have to go find these overpriced sandwich places that are black owned and say, you know what, we are coming in, call it a cash mob, where we all come with our cash, and I don't care that it costs me $15. I would rather pay $15 for an overpriced lunch sandwich that should cost $8 or something. I would rather do that to help my black people have their entrepreneurship and tell everybody to keep their head to the sky. That's what I tell them.
You gonna sing us out, Skipp?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute.
God bless your family. Thank you for listening.
Tell me when it's my turn to go.
Okay.
Wait a minute.